We are the one, the light in the dark. One heart, one world, one spark. We are the one, together we rise. One dream, one voice, one sky.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Women Empowered Across the World podcast. And guys, this is our next episode, and we have an amazing guest on. You're going to be very inspired by her story, and I'm going to bring Alina on to have her just do a short introduction of Helen, and then Helen's going to come and share her inspiring story with all of us. Okay? All right, Alina, come join us.
Okay. First of all, I am very happy to welcome, to have as our guest, have Helen as our guest today, because it was one of the first persons, first ladies that I thought about when we decided to start creating this podcast. Helen is a very special person. We have known each other for many years already, Helen, I think, but on LinkedIn, from LinkedIn. This is how it starts. Helen is the founder and the executive director at Ray Parts Foundation. I hope that you will tell a lot about this foundation and your nonprofit work, but she's also a leader, a visionary leader, fellow and visionary leader at Vital Voices Global Partnership, and a mentor at Global Thinkers, and a member at Field Data, Human Rights Defender. So many fantastic positions and passions in this one humble lady. So I think it is a short introduction, and I do believe you'll hear much more from Helen. Helen, the floor is yours. Please share your
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alina, and thank you so much, Women Empowered Across the World. I'm so humbled to have having hosted me here today. Once again, my name is Hellen Lunkuse, and I am the founder and executive director of Repart Foundation, an organization that works with women and children who are survivors of sexual gender-based violence, trafficking in person, child labor, and modern-day slavery. The reason why I started this organization, personally, I am a survivor. At the age of 11, I was going to fetch firewood and away from school, coming back from school at around 6 p.m. And the person that everyone knew responsible in the community defiled me. It's something that never went off my head, though being a child is like you overcome it with the support of your parents. But as I grow older, I come to realize that it's something that is happening and everyone looks at it. It's one time when I was sharing with my best friend about the same story, and she tells me how a mate and a shambo boy at home defiled her and told her that if you tell anyone that you've been raped, you're going to be killed and your parents. She had to hold that story for the rest of her life until when she met me and spoke about it. So I realized it's a burden that women carry around the world, not only me. And then the trauma that we carry, the self-esteem that we lose, the unworthy that we feel in the community pushed me forward. And the many stories that I keep hearing pushed me and pushes me every day to do something for women whose stories are never shared, whose problems are never solved, who in the end of the day justice is never found because you have a relative that has defiled you and you don't want to lose a family member who is so irresponsible, who does not think of a child or who does not respect a woman, because the family is going to be disorganized or is going to separate, is going to split with all these culture norms. Pushes me every day. And I'm like, you know what? We have to do something. We have to make sure girls are heard, women are heard, children are heard, regardless of their sex and gender. Someone has to stand on the ground and defend them, be the earpiece to listen to their stories. So in 2008, I started the initiative with the friends of mine. So we started by advocacy. So what Repart does, we do the emergency response, whereby if we get a story or a survivor comes our way, we through the case management program, we go to the survivor, repatriate her, take her into a safer place, take her to the police, report the case, do the examination and all that, and then go back to the police. It's quite a process and it's really hurting. And then we start on the medication, where we give PEP to control HIV. If it needs surgery, we do the surgeries, we do the psychosocial support, and then we work on, as we're all doing all this, the medical and everything, the legal is moving forward to ensure that justice is served. And it's something that we dream that if the perpetrator is caught, he has to face it. At least let him be an example in the community instead of shutting it down, because we've seen what keeping quiet on as a perpetrator causes to the survivor. It's a pain. She feels betrayed. She feels hated. So we do the empowerment programs, as well as one of the programs that we do to support the survivors, because most of our survivors are economically unable. So being unable, it means that they are going to be going through the same chain of abuse for the rest of their lives. And if a woman is empowered, at least you're able to go to the court, you're able to stand on your own, you're able to move away from, let's say, an abusive relationship or an abusive home whereby you're being defiled or raped every day and you have no choice. So this is what Repats does. And one of the amazing programs that we put in place is the psychosocial support groups. The psychosocial support group is that we meet all the survivors that have gone through what we've gone through. We meet and talk about it. As we are learning from each other, we are learning a skill, either crocheting, knitting, you bring games, you don't really concentrate with the pain, because sometimes narrating the pain make anger out of you, and you somehow you want to explode. But as you're sharing, you're learning something. You're learning a crocheting, you're making a sweater, you're making a dress for your daughter, you're making a pad, such things that makes us together, like unity, being empowered socially and economically. Yes. And one of the things that Repats has put in place is the vocational schools. Repats, at its branch, it has a vocational school at the head offices, whereby on a daily we host over 150 women and their children. Where if we are able to help them, we can give them a meal, we give them meal, drinks, as they're learning either tailoring, bakery, crocheting, learning other schools, computer skills. And then we have another school called Bucherimba Vocational School that is still under Repats Foundation. This one is in the community, deeper villages, people who are not within the city or town. So they come, they converge, learn skills. We've taught them different skills of microfinance projects, whereby they're able to save. As I speak now, we have one of the Twekembe project. It's a saving scheme whereby vulnerable women have saved over $55,000. It's too much for them, and they're excited. They keep borrowing, bringing in the money like that. So we've created a community whereby women can come together, children are empowered. We go to schools, we do advocacy, sensitizing people about sexual gender-based violence. In a term, we can visit over 20 schools, of which each school has over 300 students. So we empower them as we are talking or sensitizing them about sexual gender-based violence. We go forward teaching these young children with skills as well, making soap, making books, learning how to make pads for their own, teaching them how to make liquid soap, teaching them to simple bakeries, simple cookeries, so that from a young age they're able to empower it, which is different from our school curriculum, because ours is more theory than practical. So we are putting that practical bit into the school systems. And another successful story that Repats has, it has a model village that is fully solar powered. From the street lights, we have tapped water. Women do not walk distances to fetch firewood or water, because we realize that being a victim of that, it means that many women are going to go through the same. So we made sure that water, as a child is coming back from school, she's not worried to walk kilometers to fetch water. The water is at the source at home, and there is light, that anytime she wants water, the light is just besides there, the water source. And then we have also the ovens. We have the ovens that women are learning to bake. We have the fridges for the single mothers that they are solar powered. So we as we are empowering women, we are also realizing the need for environment, green energy, clean energy. We have forests, we have different mechanisms that we've done to survive and to make sure that people also keep surviving as we work together for the betterness. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. Ah, Helen, that is absolutely inspired. Absolutely amazing that you raised your hand after the experience
Thank you.
and said, I'm the one. I'm the
Thank
one.
you.
I'm the one. And you keep being the one because you've been doing this for a long time now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. I am sure there are some hosts that have some questions for you. Jackie, yes, I had a feeling you'd be first. Jackie, go ahead.
Wow, you're really amazing. Um, the thing is, the resounding thought of this entire thing is that you're the template. That's what's so important to me right now,
Yeah.
is that you are the template. And by that, I mean we need to rinse and repeat. That's probably the easiest way to say that, is that all the most of the struggles that you mentioned are common in at least 54 countries of Africa, and I'm sure in others, Poland possibly too. Could be any of the others that are on the screen, could be Argentina, could be wherever. That's really important. And I don't know how you do that, but possibly creating some sort of a document or some sort of a tracking or some sort of a journal, some way to be able to take this to other cultures all over Africa. Have you considered? I mean, I know you're in the throes of this, you're in the middle of this, and probably the last thing in your world is to get to another world. It's just to be able to help those in your own world. However, as you show some sort of um, common quiet, maybe, would you consider possibly establishing something to take to other cultures? Because it's obvious that on so many planes, you have this thing figured out. And we so need you so that we can, and not only I don't even know where you are in Uganda, though I'm sure there are other parts of Uganda that definitely could have this template too. It's not just one's going to do the whole country. Have you ever thought of something like that?
Thank you so much, Jackie. I am so humbled. It's something that I dream of, but because of limited resources, I find myself caught up in hands, and then also the protocol, the procedure. These are the things that I remember one time with a few friends in US. We wanted to open up something in America of the same, but you realize that the process, for me, because personally, I believe as long as someone is doing something for the community that is open, is serving a community, I would say, serving women or children, the terms and conditions could be a little bit limited, but unfortunately, the procedure becomes, it's like you're fighting. And let me tell you the challenge I have as a person, even to my friends, anything, if I start speaking, it's because I'm speaking to ladies right now. Back here, people look at you, it's because emancipation. This is the word that I keep hearing. Even when you're doing the rightful thing, the world looks at you as emancipation. They don't see the need. They don't look at the survivor. They don't look at this child. All they look at is, so I am limited. It's something that we want to do as a team, but we find ourselves limited because our voices are somehow shunned down because the people, the men that are into these policies think that you're fighting them. It looks like a fight. So we are limited by these fights. And I would want to also mention that Rep Hearts Foundation is located in eastern part of Uganda, Jinja, and the nearby districts. Yes. Thank you.
So Helen, you definitely you want to look and see how you can get this out there. And with who you're in front of right now, we all have set things up to be able to take it out into other countries. We can support you in doing that, in moving it forward for sure. If that is a dream of yours, that's something you want to do. And I believe this should be in every country in Africa. Um, we will support that. We're going to help you to take it to other places for sure. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm really humbled. Thank you so much.
Wow. Okay. We have Alina. She has her hand up. She has a question for you. And then we'll do Susie. Go ahead.
Yes, Helen, because yes, you've been doing it for already some time. And so my question is, have you seen any change in the community? Do you see any change after all these years?
Thank you so much. Number one, through advocacy, I would say that we have seen tremendous change through creating awareness. Days we started, women could not stand up in a meeting or community meeting to talk about the negative energies that men have put them through. But now, as we speak, women can stand up in the community and speak out. All those women, all those communities that we've gone to.
Yeah.
Another thing I will talk about is that I have also seen women sending their children to school. Years back, a few groups of women like my mom would stand up for their children and educate them. In my community, especially where the tribe that I come from, they look at men as the sole provider. They think that if a man has failed, so the woman has to fail. But as I speak now, through the example of what we've done and what my mother has done, women have sending school, which is so amazing. We've seen graduates. Rep Hearts Foundation itself, through the women that we've supported, we have over 34 since we started graduates in different courses. We have fashion designers, we have doctors, we have teachers, we have people in various categories. When we constructed this project in Chirimba, we had a rampant number of young children getting pregnant. I would not say it was completely eliminated, but since 2020 to date, we've only of teenage pregnancy. And this is because this girl was already a mother then.
Yeah.
And by the time she got pregnant, she was actually not with us. But as I speak now, it looks, children have no, like that energy of that period of moving to work, moving away from man has been limited. And then through this other project of empowering the community, the mothers and the fathers have taken caution to protect their children. And then also the laws, they know that one night you're going to be accountable. So we have put the community and the community members and the local leaders in what have you done. Then you realize that those days, some members, after the child has been defiled, they would compensate between themselves, leaving this child into a jeopardy. She has no defense. So we've put accountability to the LC. They don't receive money from the perpetuator. And also the mother. If we realize that you have connived with these people, you are automatically going to face the same. You're going to work as I would say, you would be an aider or a beta in these criminal cases. Doctor who had defiled a child, give her all the STDs. Right now, as I speak, we made sure that this child gets justice. She was settled into a proper home, and whereas the witch doctor is serving 50 years of prison. So we have cases, and we've seen even the untouchables, the army guys putting them into, we put them behind bars. Yes, we've seen tremendous change. We've seen women getting empowered. So far as we speak, we have over 50 kiosks that stand because of Repats Foundation,
Wow.
where women have their own businesses.
Wow. Yes.
It's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Helen. Thank you for
Thank
answering the
you.
question.
Thank you,
Thank
Helen.
you.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Susie has a question for you. Susie, go ahead.
Yes, it's more like an thank you for the work you're doing. First of all, it's amazing. It's more like an input than a question. As Jackie talked about going global, I want to affirm to you that you must not, like, you can use collaboration is the key to go global. It's not you being there by yourself or you being even in that country. So we are really available to help. You can use advocacy too to go to those countries instead of being there in person with that whole foundations, because you don't yet have the means to. Advocacy can be the means, do online training and all this. I'm sure that will impact a lot of women globally, than even more than the locals you are doing, but you're doing an awesome job. And that's what do you think you have any issue going online? That might be the question.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So Helen, just here, we can collaborate with you to make that happen. If that's a dream of yours, we will support it. Absolutely. Dream big. Don't dream small.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
We have Wumi. She has her hand up. Wumi, come ask her a question. Go ahead.
Okay, so Ellen, thank you so much for sharing. Honestly, you shared your story. I can relate. Trust me, I can. So I want to ask, how did you do the healing process for yourself? Especially I'm not even talking about the people that you're working with, the children and all of that. For yourself, how did you do the healing process? Because for some of us, it was relatives, and like you said, your culture is not so different from Nigeria and other parts of Africa. So where you can't even say anything because they are relative, everybody just let it go, let it slide, and that's it. So how did you do the healing process? For me, it was hard. It was hard because you have to see this person for a while, and you still have to call them uncle, and it was difficult. So how did you deal with the healing process?
Wow. Helen, there you go.
Okay. Thank you so much, Wimi. I would say that healing as a survivor of sexual gender-based violence is not a day. It's not a day. It's a process. And honestly, I want to confess that you can't heal forever. You get what I normally call it triggers or episodes. There are moments when I break down. I'm honestly, I wouldn't say that I am fully healed. No, personally, I have issues with relationships. There are things that can never really go away. It depends. It depends, but they can never really go away. Or you hold on to, then you realize, okay, I am reacting. You start, analyzing yourself. It's a self-healing process. Uh, First of all, I would say, going back into the question, I was supported by my mother. My mom became a shield. She was beaten. She has scars. I call her my hero. She made sure that I attained school.
So
Number one, she told me, Helen, I want you every time, even when I fail in my relationship. She's like, Helen, just remember that whenever things are not working out, I sent you to allow to be abused because you feel like you no, you have to realize what is wrong and what is bad. Yeah. So I've struggled. I've done counseling. I've gone through a lot of counseling processes. Like here at our workplace, first of all, the work itself is draining. We have a very professional counselor that comes through and talks to the staff, talk to us. You share your stories, and then also one of the things that made me realize that okay, I am not alone. First of all, I looked at the idea of getting married when I was young. I have seen so many girls getting married who are not given my opportunity. They would have wanted the same, but they never had any choice. And I also look at a child as young as 1 year being defiled by their own father. Then you realize, you know what? You're not alone. What you have to do is to collect all your friends in the same circle and you share the ideas. How do we approach this? How do we heal? So we work together as a community. We work together like you, we meet, we talk about it, I have seen someone who is so professional asking me that, Helen, this guy tried to rape me. Is it, she asked me, do you feel like it was sexual harassment? I told her, if I leave you inside in a room with a man, are you comfortable? She says, I'm not. Do you know why? Because I don't trust men. And definitely, so you realize that we are so many of us suffering in different angles. I have seen those that completely never got healed at all. So what I do as a person is I meditate over bad energy. I do meditation. I share. I'm one person. If you hurt me, I talk about it. Whether you're my mother, I'll go and talk about it. If I can't tell you, I'll go and share. So sharing is part of my healing process. When I am so onto the wall, I start sharing. I share my story to anyone. And I don't care how you carry it. But if I want to share, I'll share it so that I don't hold. And then I give myself also a healing process. If I am so drained, like I am onto the wall, I tell myself, Helen, cry it out. I cry. You find me so low and I cry it out until I feel better. I give myself 3 days of mourning over everything. And then I say, okay, now I have to get up. I've done it out. So it's a process whereby you need to listen to yourself. Listen to yourself always. Always. And do what, make sure you share. Give someone a burden. Yeah, I give I'm sorry, I give someone a burden to carry my energy, yeah. Because I find they give you the saddest story because you realize that you've seen a child that brought a child as young as 1 year in front, 7 months into your face. And I don't like professionally, I don't talk about the name, but I can tell my friend I meet that, today they brought this child who can do this, who can do that. You talk about it, because every time you hold it, it's going to be a burden. So that is one of the things that I do personally. Beyond professionalism, it's something I do. I be real. With the pain, I be real.
Beautiful, Helen. Oh my goodness. And it is the best way is to actually share your story, to have it become really kind of a story and not a trigger. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So we have Raksha. She has her hand up. Go ahead, Raksha.
Everyone said it. The work you're doing is amazing. And the people that are impacted are in billions, right? So what I hear is, as a collaboration, the work that you have done, we want to take it everywhere. And there's a desire for you to take it somewhere as well. That's what I hear. Looking at your website, I see the amazing work you've done. And you continue to do that, right? What is it that you need? Besides us talking to you about it, or you coming on platforms like this and talking about it, what is on your wish list that if you could wave a wand, and besides taking the pain away, because as long as men are in this world, there will be some sick men that will do this. And in some communities, this is normal, right? So it's also educating the men or our sons, right? Because it all starts with us. We have to educate our sons to see that they have to respect women. This is where they came from. They need to respect this, right? So what is it that we can provide for you so we can grow this movement of yours and have a larger impact? We can't eradicate it, but we can have a larger impact.
Wow. Okay, Helen, you're muted.
So some of the things that we look at as Red Hearts Foundation, number one is collaboration. Because if we meet as a team here, we believe that you can be.
We're not hearing you,
I
Helen.
would say for Red Hearts Foundation, take it on. I think. Hello?
Okay, go ahead. Try again.
Hello? Okay.
We can hear you.
Yes. look at Rep Hearts Foundation looks at number one, networking and collaboration is number one priority, because we realize that our work cannot be, even if we get a lot of funding and we are not known and we only work in our community, it doesn't bring change. So we look at collaboration and networking and partnership as key factor. And then also another thing is that Rep Hearts Foundation as an organization has a dream of building a one-stop center. This one-stop center can be a replica to other around the world, around the country, because we realize the pain of what the survivors go through. It's painful. Like some people, in the end of the day, they give up their dreams. Sorry, they give up their justice. For example, a woman is defiled or raped, and then she goes to the police without a caseworker from Rep Hearts Foundation. They harass her. She goes back home. And then tomorrow she tries again. They send her for medical checkup. The DNA is already gone. And what they do, they give up and they carry their burden. Most of the cases that we handle are like they already happened. They are not recent. So getting even a perpetuator becomes hard. So Rep Hearts Foundation started the construction of a one-stop center that we would want the whole world, whole country, all of the countries to have, so that women cannot move distances to get medication, first aid, I would say, also the police, all these things, the DNA collection and all that are done in one area. And then justice follows, whereby we can go to the police, allows us to open up the police case, and then after that, in a short distance, you get all the medical examination in a proper, decent place, so that you do not struggle, you do not give up, you do not look shame. There is a way they make you being shameful, ashamed, and yet the perpetuator should be the person getting ashamed. So you realize that that's shyness. Then we want that place to have a social psycho support place, and also the medication place processes. At least those first things that are needed.
we, you've got a group of women that are very powerful, that are behind you and want to see you take this many, many more places and have a real future with what you're up to and doing. So you just know you've got people that are backing you right here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're not alone.
Thank you.
You're not alone. And I knew when you shared your story after I read some of the things about you, I said, oh boy, we're all going to be supporting you inside of what you're up to. Okay. Thank you. All right. So, Renata, you had your hand up. Go ahead. And then we are going to end our podcast.
Okay, so Helen, I'm very thankful for being here today to listen to you. You have a beautiful soul, beautiful smile, and
Thank
I think it's contagious because we are all in love with you here. And I worked with sexual violence in Congo, and from my understanding, I am a nurse, and from my understanding, we need two branches of, as you said, the legal issues and
you.
also the health issues like the PrEP, as you said, and mental health for sure. And a lot of times those two fail pretty bad with women. And I think the biggest strange that we have is connection, is us, how we as women can get together and build the structure that we need. Because unfortunately, what we are talking about, that human traffic, this is an international chain, and it's very profitable. It's not just mean, but it's profitable, you know. And so it is a bigger chain. And for sure, what Susie said, that collaboration and how you can get to other countries, it's very important because here in the US, we have a huge hub of human trafficking in Chicago, but nobody talk about that. And so we need to start talking more about that because people that come from different countries fly, during this chain of horrific experience for a lot of kids and young women, and of course some boys too. And so, and we don't talk about that as much as we need. So I ask you, please, collaborate. And if you can also, I know you have already a lot in your plate, but write about it, because that's also very important for your healing process and for others to read this.
Thank
And
you.
I want to thank you again. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm really humbled. Yes, I really want to write a book. Yes, I
Yeah,
really want to, but putting everything together, yes.
really great, guys. So amazing. What? Oh gosh, this is going to reach so many people. We just have to get it out there and share it with so many women, because we have no clue how many this will affect. We have no clue because it's such a secret thing with women. And we have no clue how many people how many women this is going to reach and really make a difference for. Okay. So, and so make sure, Helen, that you put your information in the chat. So when I upload this into YouTube on my channel, I can put your information that they can reach out to you. Okay. And we are all going to collaborate in some way and work with you and raise the awareness and the education around it. We're going to be there.
Well, and the obvious is it isn't just trafficking. What she's doing has hit at least 10 frontiers of what is the result in trafficking.
Yes.
So that's the whole concept, is we're not just saying, buy my chickens. We're saying this is a foundation. And that's what we need, because you've touched the employment, you've touched the self-image, you've touched the empowerment, you've touched the environment even. I know Renato was jumping up and down on that one. You touched the environment and all of that. So this is not just a one-trick pony. This is definitely a whole foundation. I mean, in literacy, I could go on forever, and we don't have time. But the point is that, yeah, we need to bring her into our fold, ladies.
Oh, we are going to. So, Helen, we've just adopted you.
Thank you.
Anyway, guys, thank you.
Thank you. I'm really humbled. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you again for an amazing, amazing episode to Women Empowered Across the World podcast. Please, please share this. Please make comments. Please subscribe to our channel. And we are everywhere on LinkedIn and social media, guys. Find us. If you want to be a guest on this podcast, please come find us and set up a time to join us, just like Helen did. Okay. And let's keep inspiring women across the world. And Helen, boy, you did that job today. Woo. Anyway, thank you, guys.
When we stand as one, there's no divide. Peace and